All right, so what do you do after you send the quote? Client calls in, asks how much the airport transfer is, the wine tour is, you type out the quote, you send it to them, then what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. So that's what I want to change today. If you didn't catch my session at the chauffeur driven show at the Limo University Learning Center, and you're not a LabX member, and you weren't at the boot camps in Los Angeles this week, then you probably don't know my quoting follow-up process. So what happens, number one, I implore you to stop giving quotes over the phone. I'm not telling you actually not to do it, but if somebody says, how much is an airport transfer from Mundelein to ORD in Chicago, instead of having your CSRs trained to say that's $110, what I want you to do is to say, you know what, hey, Mr. Faith, can I get your email address? That way I can email you that quote. Just in case I'm not here and you decide to call back, you can speak to any one of our reps. Now you've got the email address, you've got the caller ID, which about 75 to 85% of the time is going to be a cell phone. So that way you can follow up. I would actually ask if the number they're calling from is their cell, so that way I can get directly in contact with them. And here's why. Because once I send out that quote, I'm actually sending a text message within 5 minutes of emailing the quote. And that's coming, it's going to be addressed from the customer service rep, the person that the prospect spoke to. And that text message is really simple. Hey, Mr. Faith, this is Amy. It was great to speak with you. Just wanted to make sure you received the quote that I emailed over. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. This is my cell. And then the most important part is a happy face emoji. And by using the happy face emoji, it makes it really personal. We don't want to be corporate-y. We don't want to be business. We want to have that personal relationship begin. But we don't want to stop there, right? So we've emailed the quote. Customer service rep has followed up immediately within 5 minutes with a text message. Now you want to wait till about 9 or 10 a.m. the next day. And at 9 or 10 a.m. the next day, if Mr. Faith has not booked, then you need to send a follow-up email. And essentially it just elaborates and expands on what that text message said. Hey, Mr. Faith, thank you for calling in to ABC Limousine yesterday. We really appreciate speaking to you and the opportunity to earn your business. We see that you have not booked yet. If there's anything we can do to earn your business, or if you have any questions, please let us know. It's really critical in this system that you're sending that out no later than like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I suggest really 8 to 9 a.m. Excuse me. So then when Mr. Faith still doesn't book, then here is the critical component. There's two huge components in this workflow. One is sending the text message after the quote is sent within 5 minutes, like immediate, like literally hit send, hang up the phone, and then boom, follow up with a text message. And then on day number 2, so we're literally like 24 hours past the initial contact, they didn't respond to the quote, they didn't respond to the text message, they didn't respond to the email in the morning. Now you need to notify your owner that the owner sometime between like noon and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because prime time to call prospects is between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. So between noon to 2 o'clock, they need to make the owner phone call. And the owner needs to call and say, hey, Mr. Faith, my name is Bill. I'm the owner of ABC Limousine. I was informed that you called us yesterday to get a quote, and I just wanted to follow up personally and see if there's anything I can do to earn your business. So you're asking a variation of the golden sales question, and most importantly, it's coming from the top of the food chain, it's coming from the owner. And that's happening on day 2 after the quote has been delivered. By making that owner phone call, we are seeing a 25 to 30% lift, meaning increase in conversions from quote to booking. There's a reason that we have this process, because there's one last step. If you place that call, and yes, if you call and they don't answer, leave a voicemail on that owner call. So now we're into day number 3. And this is where you have the last ditch effort of sending the follow-up. The last follow-up to give them an offer. So you've sent quote, you followed up with text, you sent an email on day number 2, and then you did the owner phone call day number 2 in the afternoon. And on day number 3, because we're coming to the close of the 72-hour buying cycle, is when we send them the offer. Now, most of you think when I use a word like offer, that I'm going to offer a discount. I am not a big fan of giving discounts. I believe in free, and if you're going to give a discount, you give something that's absolutely absurd, like 95% off or 75% off, to where that $100 airport transfer comes down to like 20 or 25 bucks just to cover fuel and some chauffeur labor. Because of the fact that if you give a 15 or a 10 or a 20% discount, and if you saw John Taffer at the LCT show last year, consumers get addicted to discounts. And what it does is it dismantles your rock, it dismantles your profit margin integrity, because now as a consumer, I know that you have a 20% profit margin because most people are going to do the trip for free at a break-even standpoint. They're not going to lose money on a trip, right? So if you give me a 15 or 20% discount on my first trip, I'm going to expect that on number 2 and number 20 and number 50. So either forget about the discount. Let's say that it's a wedding, give a free getaway car. What does a free getaway car cost you to get from a hotel to an airport? If it's like a 10-minute ride, it's probably an hour's worth of labor, maybe 2, and $4 in fuel. So it's going to cost you 20 or 30 bucks. If they're booking a $2,000 wedding, I think that's a pretty great add-on to be able to give away in this offer if they haven't booked. So now let's say the bill doesn't book after that offer email goes out. Now you have to deem me as a lost prospect, and you've spent so much time, so much money in that customer acquisition process, and I've decided I'm not ready to buy from you. I just may not be ready inside of that 72 hours. Now is when you have to go and you need a lost customer funnel. Every great sales rep knows that follow up, follow up, follow up. It's one of the things I love about Nina Parsons, who I think is one of the top sales reps in our industry, is that she is tenacious in her follow-up, aggressive in her follow-up. But most of us don't do anything. So we lose the customer. I may not be ready to book that wedding, you know, the 3 Gretsch shuttle buses and the BMW for the getaway car and a Sprinter for my family until August, because I'm not getting married until September. I may be DMC Donna and my group isn't until June, and I'm not going to even have manifest information until early May for the first go around on the manifest. I'm just not ready. So the question is are you going to be there? Are you going to stay top of mind when DMC Donna is ready to buy or when Bill's ready to book his buses for his wedding? That means you need to have, and the easiest way to do this in the follow-up process is to have some automated emails going out very similar to your indoctrination process. That, my friends, is the how you close quoting systems and how you increase your conversion rate by 20 to 30%. So for those of you that are nervous or afraid or don't leave the office to go out and actually sell and to actually network, implement this process. Watch this video 3 or 4 or 5 times. Take notes, because this will change your business and your life if you implement it. And I'm here with you. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Leave a comment down below. Email me, bill@limogrowth.com. Send me a private message, because I only want one thing, and that's to see you guys be successful. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for joining me on the Ask Limo U Show.